It's 2:43 a.m. You're clinging to the very edge of your mattress, and your dog is stretched across the center like a furry dictator who just annexed new territory. They have their own bed. They have the couch. They have at least 4 other perfectly acceptable sleep locations. And yet, every night, they choose you. Most people say it's about warmth. Reasonable theory. You're warm. Dogs like warm. Case closed, right? Except, your dog also has access to sunny spots, heating vents, rugs, and that suspiciously comfortable pile of laundry you swear you're about to fold. If heat were the only goal, you wouldn't be the exclusive option. So why you? Because sleep is vulnerable. For any animal, falling asleep means lowering defenses. In evolutionary terms, that's risky. Mammals tend to seek safety, whether that's concealment, group presence, or proximity to trusted companions. And instead of choosing isolation, your dog walks past the quiet corner and presses against you. That's not random. Researchers at Eötvös Lorand University adapted Mary Ainsworth's infant attachment assessment, known as the strange situation procedure, to study dogs and their owners. They found that dogs display attachment behaviors toward their humans that closely resemble patterns seen in young children. Proximity seeking, distress upon separation, comfort upon reunion. In one foundational study, about 60% of dogs were classified as securely attached, strikingly similar to distributions found in human infants. So when your dog wedges themselves against your legs at night, they're engaging in a well-documented attachment behavior, seeking closeness to their secure base. Not clingy. Secure. Now let's add chemistry. In 2015, researchers at Azaba University published a study in Science examining oxytocin levels in dog-owner pairs. Oxytocin is often called the bonding hormone. It rises in humans during close social contact, including between parents and infants. The study found that when dogs and owners engaged in mutual gaze, oxytocin levels increased in both. The more the dog gazed at the owner, the higher the owner's oxytocin rose, and that increase was associated with a further rise in the dog's oxytocin. Interestingly, the same effect was not observed in human-raised wolves. This suggests that during domestication, dogs evolved a unique capacity for this mutual oxytocin response with humans. Fun fact, dogs are currently the only known non-human species shown to reliably trigger this specific cross-species oxytocin feedback loop through eye contact. Physical contact plays a role too. Studies consistently show that petting a dog can lower cortisol, a stress hormone, in humans. Some studies show reductions in dogs as well, particularly during calm, affiliative interaction. Now zoom out. Dogs were domesticated at least 15,000 years ago, possibly earlier, according to genetic evidence. One of the most compelling archaeological findings comes from what is now Germany, a 14,000-year-old burial site containing 2 humans and a dog. Analysis suggests that one of the dogs survived a serious illness that would likely have required extended care. That implies sustained human attention, long before agriculture, cities, or written language. In other words, this relationship has been intimate for a very long time. Genetic research supports that too. Studies have identified structural variations in a region of canine chromosome 6 associated with hypersociability and human-directed behavior. These variants are absent in wolves and are thought to have been selected during domestication. Your dog's desire to be near you, especially at rest, is not a modern quirk. It's deeply rooted. Now here's where things get interesting. Yes, dogs move in their sleep. Yes, they twitch. Yes, they occasionally perform dramatic 3 a.m. stretches that defy physics. A 2017 study from the Mayo Clinic monitored adults and their dogs using actigraphy over several nights. The findings were nuanced. When dogs slept in the same room, but not necessarily in the bed, human sleep efficiency remained high. Bed sharing was associated with more movement, but many participants still reported feeling comfortable and secure. In other words, measurable movement doesn't always equal worse perceived sleep. Similarly, research from Canisius College surveying nearly 1,000 women found that dogs were rated as less disruptive and more comforting sleep partners than human partners. Follow-up monitoring showed brief awakenings when dogs moved, but participants rarely remembered them. There's a possible explanation. For most of human history, we slept in groups. Total isolation during sleep is relatively modern. The presence of a trusted companion may signal safety to the nervous system, even if there's minor movement. And emerging research suggests something even more subtle. A 2024 study from the University of Jyväskylä measured heart rate variability, HRV, in dog-owner pairs under different conditions. HRV is a marker of autonomic nervous system regulation. The researchers found correlated HRV patterns in bonded pairs, particularly during calm interaction and rest. This synchronization was not observed with unfamiliar humans. The field is still developing, and sample sizes are modest, but the findings suggest measurable physiological co-regulation between dogs and their owners. Two nervous systems, different species, influencing each other. Now, one important note. If your dog has slept beside you for months or years and suddenly stops, it's worth paying attention. Sometimes it's environmental, changes in routine, new household members, altered schedules. But veterinary research indicates that changes in sleep location can sometimes precede visible signs of pain. And in older dogs, disrupted sleep-wake cycles may be associated with canine cognitive dysfunction. Estimates vary, but prevalence increases significantly. In dogs over 10 to 11 years of age, behavior is communication. If the pattern changes, it's worth noticing. So tonight, when you wake up pinned to the edge of your own bed while your dog occupies a geometrically improbable amount of space, remember this. Out of every option in the house, the couch, the rug, their expensive orthopedic dog bed, they chose you. Not just because you're warm, but because, across thousands of years of shared evolution, your presence signals safety. And if an animal with sharper hearing, better night awareness, and finely tuned threat detection consistently decides you are the safest place to fall asleep, that's a quiet kind of compliment. So tell me, is your dog a respectful sleeper or a full-time mattress colonizer? If you enjoyed this video, give it a like. If you want to see more, check out our other videos and be sure to hit that subscribe button. Until next time, stay fluffy.